Welcome, Poggers, to another episode of The Pog State. You may have thought that it was over. Even I thought it might have been over, but instead, we have another episode. And it is not just any episode. It is one where we filled it with as many LCK people as we possibly can, and we are never going to be able to control the length of this episode. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. We're here to celebrate the LCK, give you a bit of a preview before Worlds, and also have a little bit of a chat about ASI as well, which is where we're going to be beginning, right, Brendan?
Do I have to talk first? We have so many people here. I'm not the first person.
No, you're the sheep police. You're the sheep police. I'm just making sure.
So first off, it says 5 minutes for the intro. So I'm gonna say,
why is he still here?
this guy keeps showing up. Like, I don't know why he's here again.
I thought he left.
Yeah.
Yes.
I keep trying to gloss over it, and everyone then keeps saying speech, and then I make a speech, and then I don't want to make more speeches, and then I'm getting accused of milking it, and then I need to make another speech.
There's no need to milk it, Chronicler.
You really deftly missed.
This is probably Mal's last episode, though, right? Because you're going home immediately after World, so you're not going to be in Korea. So if we have another episode, then you're just not going to be here, unless we get you to call in and have you on a TV, like
TV
Cubby or TV Man. Man, I miss TV Man. Why couldn't he have been here? We could have had him instead of Chronicler. Oh, no. But, so this is going to be Chronicler's last episode. We might be doing a bit of saying goodbye to him, but you're probably over it. Unless you're someone that only watches the Pog State, in which case you may not have had a Chronicler speech just yet.
Definitely
so it's probably good that we get another one in there for those people who are unhinged enough to only listen to this as their only piece of LCK content that they consume.
And if that's you, please let us know in the comments.
Please, we need someone.
And also probably get professional help.
Yeah.
Statistically, there must be someone.
There's got to be someone.
Yeah,
They like just think that all the stuff we're talking about is imaginary. Like all these teams and stuff. Like it's really cool. These guys do this bit where they like gather and discuss this KT roster team.
I mean, one of my friends really
creative.
loves like LCK, but he cannot like watch LCK. So like only time he can actually listen to LCK or like the content is when he's driving. You know. So there might be someone.
There could be. So if it's you, make sure that you let us know. If you are driving, do not comment and drive. Make sure you pull over in order to write the comment, okay?
But just
safety
do it
first.
when you get home.
Or do it when you get home. That's fine. But I think that immediacy is often good. So if you've got a good thought in mind, just pull over to the side of the road. And that would be, unless you're on a highway, in which case it's illegal. So don't do that. But you know what I mean. Just obey the rules and comment as quickly as you can.
I did do that
about
once.
to say something.
You
Really?
can. You put on your hazards.
Wait,
It's
so
fine.
you pulled over to do something on social media?
That's
weird.
Not surprising. Not surprising.
I pulled over on the side of the road because I thought something was in my trunk. I think it was like
I thought something was living in your trunk.
like it was like my sports equipment, and then a cop pulled up behind me, and I was like, "That's weird."
Where was this?
In America, and so I know I was stressed, and so he was like, "Is everything okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I just needed to check to see if something was in my trunk." He said, "Is this an emergency?" I said, "Well, I'm on the way to my game, so I needed to see if it was there." He said, "This is for emergencies. You should just pull off of the highway first, then pull onto the side."
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
you're
getting
supposed
from
to
this
do.
story
What's that?
is that this episode is definitely going to be 5 hours long.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
This
That
episode
might
is
be the case.
basically only existing to prove to you guys who keep asking in the comments all the time why we can't have more people on the Pog State all.
It says
right here this episode is going to be 5 hours.
But we can blame Brendan if it's too long.
Sheep Police is
It
here.
says it right there on the sheet.
Yeah, I don't
We
see
have
anywhere
5
in the
hours,
sheet
guys.
Anecdote from Degon about falling off the highway.
Well, everyone looked at me, and I was like,
Everyone is going to have the same amount of talking. That's the
Hopefully.
I have my
Hopefully.
time.
I do want to do something, though, because we have introduced that this is a podcast for those that are listening while they're driving to work, so they may not necessarily know who is here. We've got Wolf, we've got Digon, we've got Valdez, myself, I'm Atlas, hi. We've got Orcs, we've got Wadid, and we've got Chronicler, and we're all here And hopefully we can speak equally, apart from Valdez, who will speak far less than everyone else.
But it's fine. Dan makes up for it.
No.
Yeah.
You guys will tell me when it's my turn, and then I'll speak for a while.
Unless
Yeah.
it's about the sheet, then you will speak up.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's been 5 minutes, guys. We can move on to ASI.
Okay, let's have a bit of a chat about the Rise tournament that is going on at the moment. It is online. That is its own kettle of fish that we could go into. But also, there's been some fun games. The LCK was undefeated apart from against themselves for quite some time until DK decided to run it down against Weibo, which was beautifully DK at that point in time.
Good stuff.
Are we still thinking that DK are the best team in the tournament? Is that the
Up
theory?
until
Did
they're
people
not.
think
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
before we went into the tournament? I thought B&K was the
It's
best.
Diablo and friends.
Yeah.
They're the best team.
Diablo and Friends are the
No,
best
it's
team?
definitely
Yeah.
just, it is DK, but not.
Interesting
that's not
that you would
necessarily
have
a
that
good
take.
Well, I think the evidence so far would, it's just, I'm saying if Lucid is dropping double-digit league games, that's I think it's good.
And we've only seen group stages so far. I mean, we'll see the knockouts, but I do think the fact that like all the LCK teams have made it to the knockouts, there's obviously only one LPL team. The other two kind of bombed out. I feel like JDG seemed kind of boom already.
Yeah.
Oh no.
LCK does have a 50% win rate against LCK teams as well in the tournament. We're not doing as well
It's a
as
good
maybe
point,
some could have
Thank you.
expected.
Yeah, it's interesting that maybe the big weakness of the LCK is the LCK.
Yeah, much higher win rate against the LPL teams.
Yeah.
And LCP.
Yeah.
But I think the Weibo win was obviously a big positive for the LPL because I think prior to that, like the initial reaction I saw a lot of people having to the tournament was, is the LPL just cooked? Because obviously, like, we don't know how seriously all the teams are taking this. And I know JDG does look boom. Like, this is a bit of a litmus test for Worlds. Like, it's not the same teams, but it's like, oh, how do the regions kind of compare? And the initial, like, interpretation was, wow, LPL is struggling.
Every year, though, the LPL is like,
Yeah, I'm
it's
not
like the
falling for
yearly, if LPL doesn't win Worlds this time, the whole tournament's going to collapse and everyone's going to retire and it's just not even going to exist. I've been hearing that since 2021. If they don't win this, or 2022, really. Like,
I've been
this
hearing
time
it
they
again
have to
this year a
win.
lot as well. So I'm ready for it to be the same as every other year.
I also hear a lot about how the LPL playoffs is actually the strongest tournament in the world, like the hardest tournament to win in the world. But if all those other teams that were in playoffs are just losing so bad here.
I don't think ever since LCK got double elimination bracket, people still say that as much. Though.
Yeah.
Some people do.
I feel like,
I'm not going to name any names.
I feel like
It's
me,
fallen
that's
off a
kind
little
of
bit.
I'm just happy
I
it's
still, I
on.
still see it a
Yeah.
little bit,
Yeah.
I think that if you put Gen G into the LPL playoffs, though, they'd probably still win. So how is
Yes,
does that make
domestic
it?
split.
Well, yeah, because
Gen G would
KT's
win.
not in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, whoa, they dodged so many
Isn't
bullets.
Weibo kind of KT with extra steps though? Wouldn't Weibo just
No,
beat
no,
them
that's
out of
IG.
nowhere?
That's IG.
No, but
That's KT.
I'm just the counter logic part of it all.
True. Maybe they've got
CLG 's
multiple.
Weibo
pieces.
did make.
Yeah.
Remember when
CLG's
Weibo
been
made
around
finals
for a
and
while.
then just
Yeah.
got completely boomed in 2023?
Do remember that?
Oh,
Doesn't that sound like something KT would do?
Yeah. In fact, they have kind of done that before.
Yeah.
It was the same year.
Yeah. And they lost to
brilliant.
JDG. JDG was good.
So actually, I think that this, like, we don't really need to talk about ASI that much. It's fun. It's the
Well,
Rise group.
people
It's
are
kinda
loving
cool.
Diablo, which I'm very happy about. That's cool.
I think
Yep.
the thing that is worth mentioning for the tournament is the grasshopper.
That's so true. I
Um,
can't believe we almost went through without like talking about the Mulan effect, which like just makes me so happy. The cricket. Oh my god, it's so
And
good. We
also-
need Eddie Murphy to be talking to the cricket the whole time.
People have been saying. I think the line was that he's always right or he's lying.
He does often get it right though.
Yeah, he was 5-1 in the first 6 picks, I think.
Damn.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So base better than Mel.
Can't say
How
that.
do we hate on me for
No, I'm
that?
saying you are king of predictions, and even the grasshopper can outclass you.
Yeah.
I guess.
That makes
Yeah.
it also better than the rest of us as well.
Well, by default, that's what I mean.
yeah.
You know,
I mean,
Now
I
is
heard
the
he's
best.
coming towards as well. By the way, yeah, that's what I heard.
The grasshopper.
Officially.
It's my favorite
Or
picture-in-picture ever. Is the grasshopper
Sure.
pitch.
You should take a
It's
picture
So
with it.
good.
Yeah, I might.
I actually heard the Grasshopper really doesn't care about its predictions.
Wait,
They got like scientists to track its behavior, and they figured out that actually, if you put it in a similar box with no teams there, it does the same behavior. It does not care about its predictions at all.
Hey,
It's
it really
like-
is like Chronicler.
You don't know yet though. Like maybe like they do some like rewards like for him as well. Like if he gets right, you know, like
What do you
some
give a
treatment.
cricket?
I don't know. Like
Food?
some
It's a
treatment, like
grasshopper.
some
Grasshopper.
snacks, you know.
Crickets and
Some
grasshoppers
snacks.
are somewhat
Are
similar.
they
aren't
the same? They're not.
They're
I
not
think
the
they're
same.
different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they do similar
Just wanted to
stuff.
clarify.
I think
Dingoes
it's
are
similar
just
family.
dogs,
I haven't
you
looked that
know?
up. The dogs?
We are, guys, we've
Dingoes
had
are
this,
kind of dogs.
we've had this many times. None of us are ready to have a biology discussion. We
No.
don't know enough.
We're not prepared. I didn't do my cricket research, apart from the sport. but
Except
that
marsupials. I
was
know
my
you're
life.
kind of an expert on that one.
And how nocturnal they are.
I know more about marsupials than hysterics. We'll go with that one. Monotremes as well. If you guys want to talk about monotremes, we can do that. But not in this. This is not going to be a 5-hour episode, right, Brendan? I saw
It
that
says right
furrowed
here,
brow.
This
You should've-
episode is going to be 5 hours long.
Okay, we're going to go
Just
back
wanted
to
to
that
clarify.
forever. Let's move on though. The cricket was fantastic. I really liked it when they knocked the wickets over. And then we can talk about Worlds. So we've got 4 teams going. One of them might be leaving the tournament immediately, as the plans have been now condensed into one best of 5
Great
between IG and T1.
Why did they
You
do
wanna-
that?
You sound
Why couldn't they
a
just
little
have
bit
both of them?
sarcastic.
No, yeah,
Don, you have something to say?
Do you got
about
that kind of
the
feeling
format?
that it shouldn't be like this, and we should have both of them.
Yeah, I just when you think about okay, I can't wait to watch Vivo Keat Stars play against Gen G later on.
A
But
common thought I have.
A common
yes.
but we're gonna have IG and T1 get knocked out.
So who
Or
would
one
you-
of them
who
get
would you
knocked out.
add?
I think
Who
that
would get an extra seed?
well, why wouldn't it be that the top region gets the seed or MSI winner gets the seed and then 2 and 3 can play for the extra spot? Something like that.
So
That makes some
LCP
sense.
versus LPL.
Yes. It would be like something like that based off of MSI results or first stand results, or you can have a combination of the two. But you know, it's that mixture of the entertainment factor for Worlds and competitive integrity. But I don't think in anyone's dreams when they were drawing up this format, they thought it would be the 2 most popular teams in the world going head to head.
Yeah.
T1 fan comment I've ever
That's what I was thinking.
Most organized.
Oh,
Had
man.
good arguments.
Do you know what the best
First
thing
sign.
is? The best thing is as soon as T1 just wins, no one's going to care.
No.
The only time they care is if IG
Well, I think the
performs
Chinese,
upset.
the Chinese fans
Yeah.
will be upset.
I mean, IG is the
Because
most
IG is-
popular team
Will they?
in
yeah,
China.
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah. The
Yes.
Shy
They're-
has made it the most
It's-
popular
it's
team.
both the players,
Well, the
but also
Shy and
org.
Rookie.
and rookie.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry,
the
Rookie.
legacy of the org.
And
as well.
Mako and
Yeah, I guess outside of China, it's probably, you know, as soon as T1 wins, it's fine. But within, it's probably not going to be the same
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't mind it. I think it'll be funny.
it will definitely be funny.
I just can't wait. I'm just going to be sitting at home with a bucket of popcorn.
Yeah.
Listening to. You can.
We
you
can
wanna-
announce it, I guess. It's going to be Kobe and I that are casting the
Whoa!
the opening best of 5, which is going to be a thing. I just
You know
can't
what's
wait because
even
it's-
better?
There's
It's gonna
so many
be-
storylines.
jet lagged hit Kobe and
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll be fine because I'll
Oh.
be traveling like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are you doing about the jet lag?
Yeah. So I'm just going to go to the hotel room and have a sleep, and then I'll be fine.
You're just
Yeah.
gonna behave normally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I will just
Well, as
Very
normal as
confident.
Max
exist.
does. 2 hours of
Yeah.
Very
flight.
experienced in dealing with it, so I guess confident.
Yeah. Especially traveling to China.
I actually want to bring up my. I don't know if I've told this on Poxy before. My favorite Max and jet lag anecdote. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
This was 2022, and I'd already been to LA, so my jet lag wasn't that bad anymore. But I had been living in the Twilight Zone for like a week. But then we got to New York, and it was fine for me. And Max arrived because he got there later, and he just comes and he's like, "Mao, you know what? I'm feeling so fresh. I don't think I'm going to be jet lagged at all.
no.
I'm just having a great time." And then I think I got a text at like 4 a.m. Mao, I might have been wrong. And I saw him the next day, and he just looked dead. And
It
he's
was
just like,
4 days. 4 days of just not even being a human. It was not great. But
But this time, I think you actually can beat it.
I think I can beat it this time. Yeah.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
It's what, like one? Is it even 1 hour?
I think it is
1.5 hours.
It's 1.5 hours. Yeah. It's pretty hectic.
Why did you
Dan and
have
I are going to be on the flight together though, so he can help me through it. He's very good at jet lag.
What is up with that?
He's professionally jet lagged, right?
Yeah, I think my thoughts on the series, I think most people's estimations on this, because T1, even though they're the 4th seed, I think in terms of power level, a lot of people are ranking them as like 3rd in terms of the LCK teams, with how KT kind of bombed out of playoffs. And I also think IG, based on how they made it to Worlds, was kind of like a hero performance from Gala. I think IG look a lot weaker than T1. I think T1 come in as heavy favorites. The only kind of caveat I have is that like we normally see T1 ramp up over the course of the tournament. We normally see them like figure out the meta. We normally see them like come in the tournament not necessarily as favorites. Like the last 2 years, they didn't come in as favorites. They weren't necessarily the strongest team day one or even week one, but by the end they were. And I think that's the only thing that like, you know, them potentially being knocked out on day one feels scary for a team who by the end of the tournament in the last 2 years were the strongest team. But I still think they're heavy favorites in this matchup, and I'm not sure IG are the team who are able to knock them out on day one.
And if you want to hear more about this, you could tune in to Orcs' episode on JLXP, where he talks about it for 2 hours. It's very impressive.
Orcs talking, well, it wasn't 5.
Yeah, no, but he also had the longest JLXP episode of all time, which surprised absolutely no one.
Feels fitting.
Experience.
The Joshua Lee's
So my thoughts, when you first said we might have a team drop out immediately, I thought you were talking about KT. So that was my initial thought. I'm like, wait, I guess, yeah, like maybe they could lose immediately and just drop out immediately because they did look very bad in the playoffs.
We did not put the world
After
bracket
beating
on the
Gen G.
sheet this
I
time.
think perfect looks bad.
Yeah, it's not there. It's just a list. But yeah, I think, you know, Genji's going to win it all. And they're going to have their moments. And it'll be Genji versus Hanwha in the finals. It'll be really close, but Genji's going to win this time.
So what you're
It's gonna be
saying
good
is,
finals.
basically, if I can,
You got to the finals really quickly. I feel like
There's
there's
not a whole lot
up
else
there.
that I'm,
Well,
you know, do you want to talk about the group stage where like it's T1 versus...
He's saying just give Gingy the
Exactly. I've already learned this from Wolf a lot, so I don't really have much else to say.
That's
you
gone
know?
over well for Genji the last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
But this year, and I know this year, I do think it's different. But I truly believe that.
What was up with Genji though in playoffs where they kind of just like bombed versus KT?
Well,
What if that happens again?
I think that for me, it's very telling that was both the best series we've seen KT play all year,
Yes.
and Genji were legitimately playing 2 people down, and it was still an extremely close 5-gamer.
True.
Like it literally came down to a final like team fight in the Elder Pit, or just it wasn't Dragon, but I don't know which Dragon it ended up being. I think it was. So that to me, given how that was the worst series I've ever seen Canyon play, and I've ever seen Jovi play.
Yeah,
and they still almost won.
And I mean, on top of that, if Genji didn't lose a single game in LCK, I mean, I would actually adopt them in Worlds. Because if they never experience the failure, like nothing can improve, right? So,
well, that's the thing is I feel like Genji normally has like they have weaknesses. I just think it's harder to problem solve for your own weaknesses if you're not challenged. And I feel like they so often are unchallenged in the LCK and go through long undefeated streaks rather than teams like T1 who get beaten up and problem solve. And like I remember there was like in 2023 Worlds when like T1 even said coming out of Swiss, they were like, okay, we reevaluated like our draft priorities and what we were doing. And everyone was playing like engaged supports, and Renata was like the best pick on the patch. And Kerry was like, no, we think actually range supports are the best. And I completely shook up the meta for Worlds. I feel like Genji just have kind of stuck to what works because it's been working so well. And I think maybe them suffering a defeat is actually a positive thing. Because I think so often what happens is they're winning, then they get to World Knockouts, and then they lose, and that's their year over.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that maybe having a loss and seeing that like they do have real issues. Like there is no perfect team in League of Legends. And as much as Genji has these undefeated streaks in the LCK, they're not perfect. You know, even if they're winning the games, there's still issues there. I think Canyon has been an issue for the team. And I just think that like seeing some of them show up might give them a chance to solve those issues before it gets to the point where it's too late.
I appreciate nobody called up.
Everyone was like,
Because that
Thank God for
they're perfect, and then everyone over there. I want to hear your thoughts because I saw the sentiment a decent amount. I actually think it's really interesting in that there are a lot of fans I saw that like, please Gen G, don't go 3-0 because you will have a 2-week break.
Oh, true.
Whereas if because you don't play for so long, and as we all know, Gen G after a 2-week break loses to KT.
Yeah, that's what happens in playoffs.
And that's
I
also
feel
what
like
happened with the FlyQuest series, right? Last year.
No, we all know Coach Kim clearly said, okay, it's not about the counter picks, it's about the tier list picks. That was what
he did say that.
That's definitely why.
I love how Wolf this whole episode is just posting, not actually saying it. It's just waiting to have like bangers off of other people's points, which is great because that's what we need. We need to keep it simple and casual.
There we go.
Yeah.
You were going to say something though, Valdez. I really want you to continue the point.
What was I
we
gonna
need
say?
to help Valdez. Okay.
It's like
we
book
all
club
need to,
all over
we
again.
all need to work together so that he can talk.
It just, form is so important, and I feel like that's why T1 is so consistent, because their form is always consistently really good at the end, whereas Gen G consistently have these big drop-offs in forms, and they get so much hate for it for a good reason. I do wonder if they'll fix that aspect, not like it's a tier list meta or we're going to pick this or whatever. Like, I don't care about their League of Legends. I just want them to play with good form. I'm also curious about HLE and what you guys think, like, if they have a chance to actually go and make a good run.
HLE is just the DRX story again, because it's now Peanut's turn instead of Deft to have a last dance.
No, I don't think that. They were not like 6th place, so I kind of.
They did make it to LCK finals.
Yeah, true, but it's similar vibe.
I think if it's the DRX story, they'll go as far as Zeka's form.
Zeka's on that team, so
I agree.
that kind of tracks.
Yeah, but also
Close enough. Close enough.
Damn, Wolf.
It is the Peanut factor, though. Peanut has traveled internationally for this tournament, so that is always
Max is like, it's not happening.
I mean, he even goes to Busan and runs it down. Like, that's the problem, is that he doesn't have to go far for it to be.
I don't think
Incheon?
Peanut is the biggest
win.
issue
Didn't
on the roster right now.
Didn't run it.
Yeah, I mean,
No, but the problem is
It's like close
always,
enough,
like he
but-
It
can
will
just
be.
absent
Too far.
Yeah.
Spent some time on LGD. Maybe there's some familiarity there.
Do you guys think T1 has a better shot than HLE then?
Yeah.
If we're talking, I mean, all of
Unless
us
they
are
lose
just-
to
because
IG,
it's
in which
Worlds.
case
We've
I
been-
would give them.
We've been
Right now.
conditioned, right? Where like I think that coming in, Humble Life to me look like a more well-rounded team. I think that a couple of the individual players on T1 are really struggling, and we do know if their meta read isn't great, they just kind of are floundering, and their fundamentals when they're not in sync are not that good because that's how they play, right? Like they'll just look silly because they go in and then they're not all on the same page, and then it just doesn't look as good versus when they're obviously the best team in the world. So I think Hanwha should be better, but if you asked any of us to like actually put your life on the line, who would you predict between the two?
T1.
Yeah, T1.
T1. Because it's
Like
Worlds.
you just
Because it's Worlds.
It's Worlds, and
That's
they've
the
never
only
had
reason.
lower than a semis finish.
I think when it comes to drafting with Hanwha as well, when they get pushed into an uncomfortable position, like if T1 is in the same position, they come up with a really cool sick draft, and Faker will pull somebody out he hasn't played in 6 months or something, and he plays it well, and the whole team just gels with it. Otherwise, it's for Hanwha Life, like Zekas was like, it's an Akali angle. Yeah. And it's not an Akali angle. We're like, oh, Hanwha, I don't know. I don't think you guys had a plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's to me
I
the
think
difference between
Hanwha
those two teams.
should be better though.
In Fearless or in general?
Just as a team, I think over the year, even with their little dip, I think
They've got a lot of firepower. That's the thing. I think HLE, if they're drafting to their win conditions,
And
they
Zeka and Pina
adjust
play well.
incredibly.
Maybe
Yeah,
VLE could get it done. I mean, Viper,
yeah.
maybe he can push somewhere else. I just don't think that's enough. I just don't think it's enough. Like,
Also, Viper will travel very well because he was pretty good at winning in China.
oh yeah.
I think something to say as well is I feel like a lot of worlds we get like huge meta shifts going in the tournament with like massive patch changes. I feel like the balance team's been super reserved this time because we have Fearless. So I think like generally the like philosophy going into worlds is we've had these champions in the meta like for all the summer or like for a lot of the year. We want to shake things up for year because for worlds because we're kind of sick of seeing the same picks. But with Fearless, that hasn't been the case. So if you actually look at the changes, like we saw Azir nerfed, we saw some tweaks like Pantheon took a hit, and then they buffed him back up a little bit, so he's lower but not that much lower. but like most people, the general view is that like the patch isn't that different. So I feel like that might actually have a big impact on things not shifting as much. Like we're not going to have a complete overhaul where teams have to get to grasp with a completely new patch, and also maybe teams who are on top, like Gen G, stay on top.
Speaking of which, I think based on meta, I think the positive thing about the HLE is they are inventor of the Viper swap, right? So they actually played so well on the Viper swap. So I assume that they're gonna use that strategy in the Worlds as well. But the negative side, I think we should definitely talk about Zeka. The reason why him not being good recently is because of the meta. I feel like I think he's really good on mechanically. Like when he comes to like go on side lane, do the 1v1, something like a Kali on it. I think he's phenomenal, right? But I think the mid lane right now is completely like support role. Like all you need to do is get the priority and do some playmaking for the team, right? So that's why I think like T1 is more favored. But I think it really depends on meta.
Push and roam, baby.
I will say that they did put nerfs in kill Viper swap.
Yeah, they did.
I guess.
So
I saw someone freaking out on Twitter about that. Like, how could you make this huge change right before Worlds? And I looked at it, I'm like, it's 30 seconds. I mean, yes, you're kind of killing the Viper swap.
It was
I guess,
also a pretty
but
niche strategy.
yeah, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal.
Yeah. But it does mean specifically the Viper swap and like the rotation up.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Just timed different.
But I think beyond what we did mention about the Viper swap is clearly they have learned to prepare well, which has not really been a strength of Hanwha Life Esports in the past. They kind of just try to copy Genji or slightly worse most of the time. But now they're kind of like, oh, we can do our own thing. We can make our own strategies. We can do planning, which is quite unique. They're a little bit more measured as well in playoffs than I think we expected them to be. Still just don't think there's any chance they like make it past semis. I feel like they won't make to the World's Finals.
I think it depends on the draw.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, the only team where I'd feel really confident outside again T1 because it's Worlds is Gen G. Specifically because of ruler. I think if you go back and look at what were the actual issues with Gen G in the last 2 years, right? What killed their Worlds run? Last year was bot lane because Lahans had a pretty bad tournament and a really bad final best of 5, and Pace obviously, as much as I liked him, has also shown that he's just not on the level of ruler, and ruler is also one of the best AD carries of all time.
Yeah.
And then the year before that was the score giving Jarvan Orianna 5 games plus plus Doran and Peanut having an unfortunate best of 5, right?
Yeah.
Now, will it actually change? I think so. I think particularly as well because I think Gen G is uniquely suited to Fearless because of the champion pools.
I also think
I really
Ruler
want
is such
Gen
a big
G.
game player as well.
Yeah.
So like him being there instead of Pays, it's not even a slight to Pays. It's
No,
just that like
it's
Ruler
Ruler.
plays even better when
Yeah.
it comes to these stakes.
Give Genji the trophy.
And I think it might be, this for context, everyone, the entirety of EWC, we'd like walk in to like the green room and we'd sit down and Wolf would be like, just give Genji the trophy.
It's just like group stage, like day
I was watching the rest of the Korean teams play EWC. It felt very clear to me that it would either be Genji or AL, and it was probably going to be Genji.
Yeah.
And he was right.
Ultimately,
And he was right.
It was closer though the finals than I expected.
Yeah.
So is it time to talk?
about the team from China that you're most scared about
Wait,
at Worlds.
Yeah.
So,
Wolf.
Wolf,
Can move on. I
no,
think we can all
Wolf,
just move on
Wolf,
from here. Yeah.
Wolf. There's one team we haven't discussed yet.
Yeah.
D plus because we talked
Wolf.
about it.
Wolf.
Oh yeah.
KT.
Yeah, so Score is back. Let's talk about KT. Should we talk about KT, Wolf?
I'm not really interested in that.
That's kind of how I would have
actually
felt if it was
preferred
DK.
Casey
Yeah.
tragically didn't quite make it to Worlds, and we could have wondered what would have happened if they did. I think that's normally
Oh
what KT
man,
fans
I wonder
do.
how
Yeah,
that.
that's what
I
we
wonder how
prefer.
that feels. Yeah, I wouldn't know, Wolf.
I mean,
Yeah, well,
Yeah, me either.
actually we do know how D plus would have done at Worlds.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of proof, minus like
Yeah.
the World Championship and the near World Championship.
I think they'd probably beat BLG and then like lose back to back to back to like the VCS and stuff. That's
That
probably
sounds
what
like
would happen.
DK.
That's
So that's what's going to happen to KT.
well, no. KT are just going to lose forever. They're just not going to win at all. They're going to go 0-3, and it's going to be horrific.
They are not going to go.
Do you guys
0-3.
remember
Yep.
when Afrika Freaks went to Worlds?
Yeah.
It might be like that.
No, there's no shot.
Was it 2018?
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting Cloud9.
Because I
Well,
wanna
they
get something
didn't
to first.
really go. They didn't really go to Worlds, did they? They
There's
weren't there
no
for
sh-
very long.
I don't
There's
know.
no shot. What the
I don't
minutes
know,
are
it's-
quarters, right?
Is
Yeah.
everyone
3-0,
is
right?
everyone just doing the bit?
Yes.
Where, like, okay,
Yeah.
because I feel like I've been seeing everyone's tier lists online, and everyone's ranked KT like super low, but I don't
Have you
think
seen the
they're all doing.
global power rankings where they're also very low?
But, like, I don't think they're all doing a bit because like you've had like most of them have like most of the LPL and LCK teams in the top bubble, like you do. IG, well, that get knocked out by T1 is most people's assumption.
And then FlyQuest.
And then it's like FlyQuest, G2, CFO, and then like a lot of people put KT below like all three of them.
I think that's warranted.
I think that's a good idea. For
I think-
KT
I
fans.
actually-
But like
that's
for
correct.
the bit,
No.
fair enough,
I
you think below all three of them?
Why are you
I
trying
think
to?
that's correct.
Why are we trying to? Why are you
I
trying to
think
get everyone
He's
E-worded?
baiting. He's
I-
baiting
so,
so
I
hard.
because I wouldn't be surprised if KT beats any of those teams, but I think that KT are less well-rounded than all of those
Yeah.
teams. Because if you are able to eliminate mid jungle, I think KT just, as we saw, just falls apart.
They also have
yeah.
Perfect and Peter on the world stage, which I don't know how that's going to work, but it's probably not going to work very well against other guys on those other teams that have been there like so many times, almost every single year.
Perfect
So,
against Broken Blade. Perfect against Whippo. Perfect against Driver or Rest, but probably Driver.
That sounds fine.
I personally make it a habit to not read people's power rankings because they're largely inaccurate about what happens in the tournaments.
What do you think? I'm just trying to get like
No, I know. I
litmus
think
test
that
of people's
I do
opinions.
think that while I was kind of like setting myself up for like best case scenario, I'm not disappointed for KT's scenario. Despite the fact that I kind of set it up that way, I do think that they're better than a lot of those teams that you mentioned, and like could definitely like beat FlyQuest and maybe even like smash them, even in the best of 5. Just because KT has like raw mechanics. Maybe Perfect sometimes doesn't always show them, but I think the mid jungle synergy is not the only thing they've played through, although it is their strongest point.
Duckers
And
is elite.
Duckers is elite, right? You're not playing through Perfect ever. Maybe he's studying. Maybe he can play like one more champion by the time Worlds runs around.
He
like,
just
they're
needs
better
one
off.
more potato. Like just
Yeah.
put him on another potato and we're
Just
good.
put the Zac top in the bag, bro.
Hell yeah.
But the thing
Put
is,
Flubber in the bag.
the thing is, like international tournament is all about the adaptation, right? And
Yeah.
I think
They're
agree
going to
on Valdo's
adapt
point.
to Perfect only playing blobs in the top lane. That's what they're going to adapt to, and it's going to be beautiful.
We'll see.
and Peter, as much as we love him, I don't know. He seems pretty good with the pressure, but like
He's
this
a
is a different
cheerleader.
level. This
It's
is a
fine.
different level, It's Beijing. It's
I mean, the
It's
good
China,
thing is
big-
Dogtime
big
is good
crowds.
on hypercarry, right?
Mm.
And the Caitlyn Jinx, those kind of champions are in, and also he's good on Aphelios. I can see Aphelios peeking into like Caitlyn Jinx. So
I'm just saying, I think that KT's in the same league as those teams. So if they beat any of them, I wouldn't be surprised. But given on how the form of the tournament has been, I also would be willing to predict those teams over KT. Whereas I feel like I
Yeah.
wouldn't do that with Hanwha T1 or...
I
What's
think you'd
T1 to get
always,
knocked out?
you'd always predict those teams over KT, even if you think KT
Okay,
could
well,
win.
yeah, we're not... No, I'm actually... Dan, I know, actually want to talk about the team.
Yeah,
So I
I
want to
think-
give my actual opinion, not the bid.
I think KT are hard to place, but I think a lot of it, the way they went out of playoffs, obviously people have really taken that into account. But I think the thing is that like you see KT going up against these really strong teams in the LCK, and you see like Perfect going up. Like if you think of the top pool in the Legend group, right? It was Zeus, it was Keen, it was Doran, it was Kingen, and yes, Perfect really struggled, but like that is a really formidable group of top laners to go against. I'm not saying that like Perfect's suddenly going to go to Worlds and dumpster everyone, but I feel like there is going to be easier opposition on a lot of the teams he goes up against there. He's
Yeah.
not going to have as hard a time as going up against Keen or Zeus as he has had in the Legend group or Doran. And I feel like as a result, I think KT has suffered from going up consistently against these super strong teams. And even then, they did get some big upsets, like the win in the regular season against T1, the win against Gen G. I think you're not going to pull... It's not like Nongshim, who obviously struggled to get any upsets at all. KT still need to be capable of a certain level of play to be able to take down these big teams at all. And obviously, they are an inconsistent team, so I can understand them being hard to place. But I do feel like the fact that like people have been ranking them consistently below like all of these like middle of the pack teams makes you feel like they are kind of being underrated quite a bit, not just for the bit.
I think 35% of the time, Perfect has a decent game, anyways.
Yeah,
It's just 65% of the time, like he's often a detriment. And then there's also like that random like maybe 5 to 10% of the time where Perfect actually is like
Has the
is
pop
the best
off.
top laner in the LCK for that one game that one time. So I know he has it in him, and like I know we've talked about a lot of players who have potential a lot, like Karas over the years. We're like, this guy's definitely he's gonna land eventually. I promise. I don't think that I feel the same way about Perfect, but obviously the reason why he's been held on to by this team, the reason why he's been touted as one of the best top laners to come out of challengers by a lot of people when he promoted in, was because in his best day, it's in there. We just, we don't see it in the LCK. It doesn't get pulled out.
You know what, KT is a Hades run, and you just, like a roguelike run, if they all hit, it's so free. The run is just smooth sailing, but some of the boons are rare.
He's also
really rare.
Perfect is the trade-off of like a BDD. Like you got the BDD item, but
The
it means you got Perfect in the top lane.
BDD shows up in every run. You can always
But you
pick
can win
him.
just fight.
He's top. It doesn't matter.
I'm pretty sure Perfect's like giga high ranked in solo queue, like right at the
So
top.
is Bulldog.
Yeah. When people talk about solo queue rankings, I'm always like, I can
so
name a
is
few
Hoya.
other players who
Remember when
aren't in the
I was
LCK.
really excited
But you know what? I can see Perfect solo killing Bin on
Yeah?
the top lane.
Yeah.
I can see that.
It's KT.
Yeah.
I that's why I would put them with those teams. I wouldn't put them below, but also wouldn't put them above.
Yeah, okay, that's what I like there, because when I think about KT and the rest of those teams, the mid jungle for FlyQuest is Inspired and Quad, and that team is innovation. With G2, I think the mid jungle is a little bit easier with Skumon and Caps, but then you have Broken Blade on the top side of the map, and then you kind of question, was there as much innovation in the LEC as there was for FlyQuest, what they did in LTA North? So the innovation portion that Wadid was saying earlier is interesting, and we will find that out later on in the tournament. And then with the LCP, CFO is the only team to make it to every international event. And they were consistent throughout, and they surprised throughout, and I want to believe them as well. So I think that's why people in that don't watch as much KT as closely as we do are just like, it's easy to slot them there at the bottom. And I think that's why they're all coming together.
It's like I only watch playoffs, and here's my power rankings.
Yeah.
Yes. Just like all power rankings. Yeah. I only watch like these two best of fives where KT got 3-0, and then I was like, this team's bad. And
So where would you put them, Wolf?
I would probably put them like in the middle of the pack for the LPL teams ish. Like I think, but like they're not the same type of team as the LPL teams at all. And I think right now, stylistically, as I've talked a lot about with the Kiana thing, how the LPL plays League of Legends and how the LCK plays League of Legends, I think the LCK style is better, but not like necessarily like from a conceptual standpoint. But I think it kind of counters the LPL style, and like it's more slow. It's more fight for objective oriented, only fight for the most ideal team fight, otherwise split push and move away from that. Whereas the LPL is very scrappy and snowbally oftentimes. So KT might even beat the best LPL teams if they have a better read on the meta, or the LPL teams don't adapt. But if I compare them in terms of like, we just don't know what the meta is going to be, and we just say like, these are the 5 players, what are their fundamentals of the league like? I'm like, well, we got 2 really good ones that work really well together. And then we have the bottom lane duo, which is an insanely strong AD carry with a guy who is looking much more consistent this year.
Vibes.
Well, vibes. A little like
He has
hero
really good
story, hero
series.
building, like, and then Perfect. We'll see.
Yeah. People,
That's the nicest thing.
because
I can
people
say.
keep talking about the lost remaining Rocks Tiger. What about the lost Noodle Boy? He's trying his best, and I'm worried about GU next year in the LCK.
Oh, man.
So-
Oh, God.
I will say KT's Worlds photos were pretty fire. Shout outs to
I like the
Hell
uniforms as well.
yes, they're KT.
Actually, I
uniform.
haven't seen them yet. That's kind of bizarre.
There's-
I haven't seen the uniform. So
They look.
It
they
was
look good.
so good.
It's
Like
so
the
fire.
gold
But
line
it's-
as well. Like it,
All right,
it's
well,
like-
I know what I'm doing when this episode's over.
I
Heck
remember what people were
Looking
talking
at
about,
photos.
that almost every other team had gold except Gen.G, who are just full black. It was very funny.
makes sense.
So we did talk about KT.
We did it.
and
That's the episode.
Good job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we're really
really
scared
nailed
about
it.
from the LPL.
So I was just going to finish the KT talk with, I would put KT beneath every other LCK team, and that puts them above every other team. in
Because
the
LCK is the
tournament.
strongest region.
Yes. I think that this year it's even
That
more
is some
pronounced.
Atlas logic right there.
No, but I think it's almost more pronounced this year than it was last year. And coming out of MSI, I think AL looked really good, but then they kind of like fell off a cliff. And so like they don't have the same sort of threats. BLG wasn't even really a thing until they are now, because they sort of filled the vacuum that AL left. And so I think that as a whole, the LPL is probably not as good as they were, or at least there's a difference in power. Whereas we kept Gen G, and Gen G just kept ramping up and getting better. And so I think that the LCK is just better, and KT will fit beneath them in some way.
Kept outside, obviously, just pretending like KT is not part of the conversation, but like their top 3 teams kept a majority of their roster from year to year. Like, so there wasn't a whole lot of rebuilding. Whereas like the LPL like blew up in the middle of the year, and like there was a lot of changes, and like I feel like our league has been just a lot more stable in general in terms of these rosters and like their pre-built synergy. Like Doran Zeus swap was like the big one, but like we still kept 80% of both of those teams. And then Gen G has the
there was a lot of
fine
tuning rather than rebuilding.
Yeah, T1 also made one game away from World Finals with just this core 4 unit of own. Like, remember 2021 World Semis against DK? They almost made it. And that was with Kana, right?
Yeah.
And I think Doran is definitely a lot better. I think BLG are going to do the T1 thing. I think outside of that, obviously, I'm not going to put any stock in TES internationally. And then maybe AL can bounce back, but I'm not really too concerned. Even though BLG looked worse than they did last year, I think that once the tournament hits, they'll look really shaky in Swiss, and we'll be like, oh, and then they'll probably make I think if they end anywhere below semis, I'd be like hugely shocked.
Yeah.
But it's LCK finals.
To me,
Right.
I mean, I think it really depends on seeding.
Yeah.
I think it depends on a lot. It depends on seeding. It depends where they end up in the bracket. Because like I feel like with Worlds, with it being single limb, decisively saying what the final is going to be is like
I
just a
think
toss-up.
there's a good chance we have 3 teams at least in the semifinals.
That I think.
there's a pretty good chance.
I
that
mean,
we
it
have
could
3
be.
teams.
But then
It
even
really
then,
just
like,
depends on each league.
But even then, that could just take one upset for it to be a
It depends where they are in the
bracket.
bracket, right?
Yeah.
So it could be harder.
And also depends which one, because like we could end up with like one of the like if it's like Gen GT1 and they're having a great run and they're on the same side, we could end up having like we've had times for like the true finals.
Yeah.
Like we think about 2023 when the finals was a bit of a blowout.
It was semis, yeah.
To me, I think that AL and BLG, when I think of the top 5 at Worlds, they're in that top 5. But I think that like the LCK seeds, I'm ranked, like to me, like Gen G is the strongest going in, T1 HLE, AL, BLG. And then top esports are undoubtedly just in the bin.
Where are they?
Completely in the bin.
Maybe that's when they get you.
They're just no. I was looking. So the last international, so their performances. So actually, EWC, when they actually had that great run when we were there, they got knocked out in the finals 3-1. That was actually really good for them because their other international performances like MSI and Worlds and Fair Stand at 3-0. 3-0, they keep getting swept and knocked out. The last 3, they got swept, and the one before that was when they got knocked out in groups. They just every time.
Was that the mall incident?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? They peaked. They peaked when they got knocked out in by Suning in which wasn't a good
2020.
performance. Yeah, that wasn't a good performance, and that was actually when they peaked. And everyone thought, "Wow, this is really underwhelming," and it's gone worse. It's actually gone worse.
I just don't think that mid esports has the same sort of ring to it.
Yeah, honestly,
MES?
bottom esports might work. It's just,
I'm sure about that one.
but it's just crazy. It's just crazy that they just keep like the roster will change and it's just consistent.
Imagine
But
bottom
then-
It's
esports.
just
Put that on
I've said this-
lunchbox.
I've
you
said
know?
this a few times. It's like the ship of Theseus thing where like if you change all the pieces of the ship of
like
Theseus,
with KT.
is it still the ship?
Actually,
right?
got
the
it.
answer is yes. If you change the players, it's still top esports.
Originally
they'll still
it was actually called Ship
Well,
of
AI
KT
defined.
Theus, but
Yeah,
they had to
that's what
change
I
it because
thought.
people didn't get it.
That doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I think that's enough, though. That's enough. So we've placed our LCK teams in our world's power rankings just a little bit here. We've chatted about all the teams, and now
We're
it
done.
is time
To say goodbye.
to say goodbye.
Wait, Chroni's leaving?
Goodbye,
Yeah, Chroni's leaving.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't know that.
And no, Dan and I are leaving to go to China on Sunday. So we're going to be leaving, and so that's what we're going to be talking about. No, it's Chroni. This is actually his last Cog State episode. I tried to sell the last one as his last one, I'm sorry about that. It wasn't. So this is it.
Giftwood did the award. What does he do?
I don't want to. I don't want to keep giving speeches, and then people just keep going speech.
Well, maybe if you gave a good speech, then we'd not get you to do another one.
We're still waiting.
I'm still waiting for the good speech.
No, I would have believed that after like the second one, but by the fourth one, I just know you guys like
not
seeing me
very
suffer.
good at
speech.
I
Guys,
think
I
it's
think
fair. All
we
three
should
could be
rank
bad.
the Chronicler speeches. Okay. I know what's coming actually. Like he's gonna do the speech here, and after Walls, I think he's gonna do it again.
Yeah.
On war stage, you know, like Kesser is gonna randomly just call it off. You know.
I'm not.
By the way, guys,
go.
is his last casting?
I'm not speeching. At
But
all.
then wait a minute.
And then
but after the World's Finals, there will be an after party. At which point he will be asked to
Yes.
Guys, Chroni's leaving. No, I can't wait.
This is my nightmare.
Next year, first episode of the Pog State, he's back. Speech. Guys, I leave, you know?
We'll just invite him back for that one episode of the Pog State.
Just confuse everyone. Yeah.
He was like, he forgot some things at your place or something like
Yes,
that. Flew
yes.
back. Oh, beautiful. And now it is time for what you've all been waiting for.
He's melting.
I'm going to read it from the Shut Up. Okay. Atlas, : It was great to have such an intelligent and handsome man with us. I'm just going to miss his immaculate and impeccable jawline so much. So I'd thought it would be fun if we all picked one favorite Chroni moment and went around the circle and then also ate some cake. Kyle, bring it out.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So I threw a goodbye party, and then I came back at some point, and they just started singing "Happy." My birthday's in April. It was then, and it was unprompted.
It was great.
This is like your third birthday this year.
He's getting so old so quickly.
Does this qualify as a goodbye party now? It's like your
Yes,
third
it
one.
does.
Yeah, I know.
Age is like a fine wine.
Man, he's worse than Maple.
So I would like to give the tradition, as always,
Yes,
of cutting
needs
the
to go
cake
in.
to Dan. Do people know this story?
No.
I don't know.
It's on social media.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, at some point, Orcs just got to be designated cake cutter, and that's still.
Now he has to do it.
Yeah, because
He hasn't been defeated by cakes yet.
I was cutting a
Maybe I'll
rock
say
solid
Almost
cake.
though, that one.
and
He's king of the hill.
I didn't
Okay.
have a knife. It was with a
Chopsticks?
Yeah, he had to spoon it a
Spoon.
few times, like all sorts of things.
The LCK
Looks
tradition
like a
of
spoon of cake.
Yeah.
I'm
cake
good.
in a cup.
How many pieces are we doing?
I'm good. So
I'm full.
Just imagine you
I'm
wrapped
full
it
too, but I'm still eating cake.
I can't.
I heard a rumor that Ox once cut a cake perfectly into 6 pieces with a plastic straw.
Oh my God. I wasn't there
I can
for
believe
that.
it. I can believe it. Look at how clean he is.
That was
Wow.
a clean cut.
That was see what he can do with a knife?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He doesn't
Did
need
the
those
paste.
stitches.
Clean cut.
Oh, look at him go.
Oh.
He's like he's doing math.
Can we not cut this? Just
Okay.
have this.
I feel like we need to have like a hand cam so that we can do like a full zoom in on the cut.
You can just
Oh.
look at the pictures on Degon's social media later.
Stop bullying Degon.
Al, I'm just ramping up for
Okay,
when Chronicle's not here
but
next year.
while the cake is being cut, I know it's fascinating, but I want Sheep Police to start us off with his favorite
well,
Chronicler
according
moment.
to the sheet, Kyan's favorite moment was the black garlic recipe cast. I think that was me, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
With you.
I still don't know why that was weird.
To this day, I'm still confused. is what
It's
Kyan
just an
said.
ingredient. All of you eat
Nobody knows
fermented
about
Can
stuff
you
black
explain
garlic
it
every
again?
day.
Actually, I'm not sure. I don't really remember the episode.
I don't remember.
Fermented garlic?
No, all of you eat fermented stuff literally every single day.
Not literally every single day.
But
I don't think I had anything
but it's
today.
not
like-
garlic and it's
So,
not
so you
black.
don't eat one of like cheese or kimchi or yogurt or.
I mean, I
Every
have
day.
done a fast here or there. I've
Okay,
taken
sure.
before, you know.
What if we
Going to the
include
doctor.
alcohol?
I had eggs today. Is
Yeah.
that fermented?
No.
But that
Well, you have
There you go.
fermented
We have
fermented
nothing
that you can
against fermented stuff, nor do we have much against black garlic. We just don't know what it is.
Nor do we eat it literally every day, Chronicler.
It was just the fact that you said you had to put it in your rice cooker for like 5 weeks or something. And I was like,
Yeah, that part really threw me off.
But that's how you
what are you
ferment.
talking
How do you
So
think
random.
stuff is fermented? You just
Not
put
in
it
a
out
rice
at the
cooker.
appropriate
Mao,
temperature
we
and leave
live
it.
in Korea. It's like, yeah, just don't use your rice cooker for 5 weeks while you're fermenting your garlic. Yeah, cool, neat. Great suggestion.
So that was Brendan's favorite moment too, obviously.
No,
You were just reading the sheets. Get off the sheet. Go into your mind
yeah, I
palace.
was thinking about it. I don't
Nice.
know. I
Mind
liked
palace.
his one of his many speeches. The one he did at the finals was really good. That was a favorite Chroni moment because he wasn't gonna cry, but then Wolf said one word.
I got ganked.
Oh, it was so
I got
good.
ganked by
I was like,
Wolf.
no, I wasn't gonna cry.
I thought it was a pretty good finals. I thought it was decent, but it's been an even better last 4 years with you, Chronicler. That's my last statement.
Chronicler.
Do you have anything else, though?
It was perfect. You know, we didn't get the 3-2, but an amazing finals to have with both of you guys, and of course, Chronicler. An absolute pleasure and an honor to go down in history and do the finals with you.
I've been an LCK fan for 12 years. I'm not stopping anytime soon. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been the biggest honor of my life. I guess I'm repeating myself a little bit. Let's throw it to the interview.
It was a good
Immediately.
speech as well, and it was the finals. Even though we didn't get a game 5, it was a good moment. I think it was my favorite.
All right,
Thank you,
Digon.
Brendan.
I think it was. Oh,
There's two, but just the
I'll hold your hand.
LCK Cup. It was our Lucid Dreams segment.
Damn it, that was mine. I should have asked you. I was there. I get to say it. You were
Yeah,
on the episode
go
for like
ahead.
a second.
You go.
I liked the Lucid Dreams episode that I think was an LCK Cup, as Digon previously mentioned.
And now LCK Global would like to present Lucid Dreams.
Thank you so much for coming in for another session today, Chronicler. I think we did make a lot of progress last time talking about your love of the Scooby-Doo live-action movies and how no one really understands, like, how much you enjoy them.
They're just underrated, okay?
We made a lot of progress. Let's leave that in the last session. But today, you gave me a note that you wanted to talk to me about D+ Kia. Tell me about
so
how
they
you
were
feel.
actually called Dumb on Gaming back when I really started to believe again that the LCK could get back to the top, because there were a couple of dark years where we basically lost everything, and then this challenger team came up and they were so creative and they were so fun to watch, and then they won in 2020, and then I got to join the LCK, and then I had to watch them lose by a single game 2 times in that year, and I just it got to me, you know.
I don't know, because when working with Chronicler on the desk, obviously I work with a lot of different people on our desk. We had Huni even in the past as well. Ox came in recently, and Dion as well. But working with Chronicler in terms of building collaborative and funny pieces has always been like really awesome. And that was, I think, like the boldest and like most detailed bit that we tried to do. And the whole time we were making it, I was like, there's no way to pull this off. There's like no way they're gonna let us do this.
Also, G-Sun wasn't there that day, so we were. It was a very big gambit, and it paid off really.
It was so it ended up coming out so well. It worked so well that I was like, we need to release this separately.
Yeah,
as a video
yeah.
so people can just watch this, because you could watch it right now, like during ASI, and like everything that's said basically still is relevant.
We pretended that, if you didn't watch it, we pretended that Wolf was a therapist, and that Mal was a crazy D+ fan who wanted to believe in the team.
Pretended?
And Wolf
That
was
part
there to
wasn't
listen.
a bit.
No.
Yeah.
That came from a very real place.
That was the bit. That was our whole post-match segment. We didn't really break down the match. It was awesome.
It was beautiful.
So I guess we got to share our favorite moments.
I like your point of like collaborative segments, because then I'm stealing Woodid's probably like Brolden.
Up, it's our moment. You know, together we're growing. Gonna be Brolden. Oh, up,
with fucking good chance. They're gonna make it to playoffs. Gonna be Brolden. Whoa.
Like when we made up the Golden song and did the dancing, like when I show people that video, like I know I sang the song, but really it was their idea. It was their dance moves, and it's them in the back being synchronized and not smiling at all. That makes it. It's so good.
It was just so random idea. Just before like 5 minutes going to the live, like we were just like, "Oh, what if we just sing?" You know, like it was so random.
I think I just came back from the bathroom,
Yeah.
and then you guys are like, "We're doing this,"
Because I know Deegan loves singing.
Okay.
That'd work.
And he's a Bro fan.
I am.
It made sense.
I think I remember my favorite moment. I've been struggling. You know, there's been a lot
Oh,
of
I thought you were going to say
times.
there's been zero.
Well, there's been a lot of times where I've been with Chronicler over the last few years. I was trying to work out which ones I liked, and I was really struggling.
Yeah, difficult.
There we go.
We can switch seats if you want to be a little bit further.
But I think my favorite was probably Challenger, when we hit our 9-gamer. And this is actually one of my favorite things about working with Mao just in general, is that it's just very easy. And so we would be sitting on the desk, and even though our brains were melting, it didn't feel uncomfortable. And the problem with that is that we then come out with like Morbius memes that
Lord
just get on
Spongius.
the Lord Spongius, which was just one of the stupidest things. And I think that like if we were to watch it back, we would just be, this is uncomfortable and strange.
No, I've watched it back a good amount of times.
It holds up.
It holds up.
Well,
My Discord links it every now and then. I'm like, yeah.
it's good. I remember in the moment. So my feeling is just of euphoria because that time was so incredibly fun. And I think that's probably what I'm going to miss the most about Mao not being here, is that we just won't have that same level of comfort. It's just very easy. He's a very easy guy to work with. If you're thinking about doing something in the Netherlands that's in a career path that he likes, he's very easy to work with.
Nice pitch.
Thank you.
Thanks for the
There we go.
recommendation.
Or somewhere near the Netherlands, you know, he could
What about
travel.
your
He's
least
known to
favorite
travel.
moment?
My least favorite moment is anytime he wears a turtleneck. The most
I
did it. No, I did it
Yeah,
on purpose.
on purpose, yeah. My most least favorite
Oh yeah.
was when he had the mustache.
Oh no.
And he then wore like the double-breasted gray pinstripe suit and a maroon. It was like
It
a
was
horrific,
dark red.
Yeah, dark red, horrific color turtleneck. That you kind of looked like he was about to go to his Latin dance class, but then decided that he had to do like a drug deal beforehand. And so he just put his yeah, and he figured it all out, right? But unfortunately, the wardrobe was what suffered in the end. That
Oh,
was my
I
least
wanted to
favorite.
pull this actually.
Mhm.
So, hands up if you hated the mustache more. Hands down if you hated the blonde more.
Wait, hands up for mustache?
Hands up for
Yeah.
mustache.
What if you hated them both equally?
No, you have to pick.
I'm gonna have to be in favor of the mustache a little bit.
Wow.
Over
That's
blonde,
bold.
right?
As a contrarian.
Oh God, I don't even know.
This is
It's
an
hard.
easy choice.
Easy
That's
choice for Brendan.
I think the mustache suit them.
Cayenne has 2 hands up for the suit as her least favorite.
No, she hated the mustache a lot.
Yeah, she hated the mustache.
Suit
a
and
lot.
mustache.
More than anyone, I think.
Mm.
It was very divisive. I hated it as well, so I should put my hands up.
Yeah, that's why I don't hate it as much. Because
was a good pick.
I felt like you
Retake it.
kind of liked the blonde, and so I hated that more because you didn't hate it as much.
No, I thought the blonde was.
So maybe
was
I'm a
fine.
hands down
Mm.
for this one. I'm
Well,
with
I
Paul.
talked to you a lot about how much I hated the mustache.
Yeah,
as
you
well.
did. So I think that helped me
With your process.
my therapy.
So I think my favorite moment, as some of you may know, I somewhat regularly like to tease Chronicler on the
what?
broadcast.
Wow.
Occasionally, you know, you may have heard.
This
such-
is why I like
Weird.
the Pog State. We get the inside knowledge.
Yes,
you
yes.
know,
A lot of
the
people don't
new
know
things.
this, actually.
It occasionally
Yeah.
shows up things such as the Lucid Fan Club, but the more common one I feel is predictions. And the thing is, you know, this initially it was just off the cuff. It started, it built up. It was a running theme. Everyone kind of got in on it, but I feel like it really culminated when this year Chronicler won predictions and
then
surprised
killed
us
me.
all.
Oh, I mean,
It's better than my pro career, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you say?
What else I can say? I'm the loser. So.
What?
No!
What does it say? What does it say? Let's go, bro.
Give me the microphone, peasant. I came here today to crown Wadid. I had the crown on I was ready to give it to him because he had done so well. But guess what? He's not good enough. Better luck next year.
Yeah, came in with the crown. It was on the last day, and Chronicler was ready. We didn't know this. We weren't aware, but he was ready to crown Wadid as like the king.
Because it came down to the final match,
To the
Bro
final
DRX.
match. Yeah, and then Wadid lost. So instead, he came on, and it worked so well because I feel like Wadid's so fantastic with physical comedy.
What did?
And in the end, Chronicler just stabbed Wadid. And the whole time, I'm just kind of watching.
And Wadid is dead now.
But it was just so funny as well because like the whole bit was like us being like, Chronicler, oh, he really cares about predictions, and Chronicler's like, no, I don't. And then he just came on in a cape with a crown and a sword and was like, I do care, and I won. Like the perfect culmination of like so much of this like ribbing, and it was just such a perfect moment and a perfect end to that like saga of the whole prediction bit. And the thing is, I feel like I was there on the space, but it was so much about like Chronicler and we did doing that. And I was kind of like in the clip, I'm just there like. That was just crazy moment. I like in that moment, I was like a viewer too. I was just like, whoa,
just vibing out.
I had a front row seat. It was great. That was a great moment. I mean, also, a moment that wasn't mentioned, but I think is great is he flashed over the wall.
What happened? Did they say, he flashed over the wall? He did. They knew what the word was. Diablo's in a flash. He just flashed over the wall.
Very good.
So that was great too.
I was also like considering mentioning them. I was
That's
like,
what I thought you were gonna
everyone's
pick.
gonna do that. So.
Yeah, so I thought someone
that's
had
not
to
going
bring
anywhere.
Yeah.
He flashed over the wall.
I mean, that's my favorite moment as well. Like when he stabbed with the
When he stabbed me.
being stabbed. because the thing is, I didn't expect that.
He didn't know.
Yeah.
He didn't know either.
Right?
Yeah.
Like so, I was just happy to be here, like celebrating him winning on the predictions, right? Like I was like clapping and like he was like bringing the sword. I thought I take the sword and like do the thingy.
Yeah.
Like,
that would
it's
be
called
nice.
knighting. I was thinking about that one.
That was the original plan.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna do, but like
His
randomly,
people
he just,
came up with that.
Yeah, he just comes to me and like he stabbed him. And I was like, and that was the end of the sequence, right? And I was like, doing this.
I like how we did just noped out of the whole situation. Like, I'm confused. I will just be dead.
That was my final thought. Ultimate betrayal.
That happened a lot in history,
It was such a nice parallel as well to what I think was the best segment of the year, which was Wadid Vane.
Oh, true.
And that also ended with him dead on the dead on the floor.
Because it was Keen's top lane.
Yeah, and he just got boomed.
Yeah, right. And it was the idea also, like just 5 minutes ago before we go on the live.
Because we just have in the LoL Park, like Green Room for Costas, there is just a Vayne cosplay there for some reason.
Yeah. That was just crazy moment.
So, Chronicler, what's your favorite Chronicler moment?
Yeah, what's your favorite moment of yourself?
Yeah. When you cry.
Every day when he wakes up and looks in the mirror.
He's gonna say second speech was his best.
Well, actually,
now
we
I have
can do
to
that
pick.
instead.
Now, then I pick a moment with each of you. Although there will be a lot of
one
overlap.
yourself. We want you to pick the one.
You're in all of the moments with us, so I guess that works.
My favorite moment in esports, or what my favorite Chronicler, like what?
Favorite
You're
Chronicler
generally there for most of the moments.
This is an LCK podcast, so I'm not really interested in your like Benelux experience.
Oh my God. This is one of the worst Chronicler moments. Is him just
not knowing
this
the
one's
Chronicler
slow.
moment is
Yeah,
the
this
ultimate
one
Chronicler
stinks.
Because like, my favorite part was before I met all of you. It was so much easier back then.
Yeah, his favorite moment was when he had self-esteem.
No, I never did. It was good. I think it might be 2022 LCKCL finals co-stream
Oh,
from the Busan Hotel. When all of you, I'm not
That was
pointing you at
Gangnam,
people.
Gangnam, right?
Gangnam, yeah.
Yeah.
When yes, I was in the hotel co-streaming. When you
We
were like,
we were at a rooftop bar
no,
watching your co-stream.
you were saying, yeah. We're going to show up for a little bit and then we'll go drinking. I was alone. And then no,
We were at least watching.
They're still gonna show up.
We showed up in chat.
Yeah, we were in chat.
They're just a little late.
that was my favorite year of challengers. Because even though I think the broadcast next year was way better, and that was actually some of my favorite broadcast moments were all of us on the challenger broadcast, because that was just peak, right? But specifically that match, because it gave us so much. It gave us the Noodle Boys, and it gave us
The 2-7 Jacks.
1-7 Jacks
my God,
finals
so
MVP. That was also the DK roster, obviously, that I was a really big fan of.
Who was on that deep roster? Who you're fan of?
Well, they're actually, I was kind of hoping that two of them
Thanatos.
would be at Worlds, and then neither are, because Thanatos and Lucid didn't make it.
Oh, my favorite player.
Yeah, shut
Yeah.
the fuck up, man. Well, and back then, he was good. Pool Bay, before he was known for his flanks.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, he designed flanks.
But also,
he pioneered it.
that was Peter winning a title.
Oh, true.
Because it was the Noodle Boy, and that was when G was still really, really good.
Ooh, that's such a good callback for when he wins Worlds, this year.
True.
That would be great, actually.
He could win worlds. That
It's
is
still
possible.
it's still possible.
We still can say
Yeah,
that.
I think
until
I think
October
that's it.
23rd.
Because it was just the whole absurdity of then afterwards immediately going down and all of you being like, "Hey!"
Yeah. That was
That was
a
really,
night.
really good. And then as for like a specific LCK final, probably last year spring. That was the Canyon game for
Kazakhs, yeah.
counter pick.
yeah.
Because that was because Gen GT won
Yeah.
specifically that
finals
one
was insane.
because that was expected to be a stomp.
Yeah, that one was
And then
sick.
it turned out to be a giga. Like it was a really. I remember that one being a really good finals because we kind of that was of Gen G having like because that was 2024, right? So that was
Yes,
Gen G
yeah.
coming off of the like Chovies just absolutely dunking on everyone for the entirety of the spring split
Yeah.
because that was some of the best league that he played, and the team as a whole was just incredible. And then
It was also one of our first tastes of Canyon doing the DK thing.
Yeah.
But on Gen G.
That finals
really
is
cool.
like, it's not the most memorable finals for
Daejeon?
me because I think so. Yeah, I think it was Daejeon.
that's
Not
why.
It's not the most memorable finals for me in
Lot of
terms of
goos.
like the gameplay itself. But I remember the vibes on the cast and like also the discussions we were having between games about like this final is so epic. And then the Kazakhs. Like the Kazakhs is the only thing I remember, like
Yeah.
really gameplay wise that like is burned into my memory. So like to hear you mention that, I'm like, oh well, that's exactly kind of like what I remember about that finals as
I
well.
think it was the game one Faker Galio, right? It
Might
was the
be,
team
yeah.
fight where like everyone died, right? I think that was
Deagon's like, I remember more than Kazakhs, I
Yeah.
think.
I remember the Kazakhs, I think. Because I watched that over at the Gen G facility in LA because I was waiting to come here.
Ah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
And now,
yeah.
now I realize that's what the other reason why the 2022 LCK is also because we were on the beach.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
just the next
Oh.
day we just went to and then we were on the beach the
Yeah.
whole day and it was just great.
Kangwon
that was hard to
fun.
beat.
Kangwon was just really
The
fun.
funniest part is the actual LCK finals were horrendous because there were tech issues.
Tech issues.
And it was like
all
it was
the time.
extremely stressful, except
Yeah.
because as coaches you just kind of sit there. But the vibe obviously was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Because there was like 2 or 3 hours delay because of internet issues.
Yeah, it was the famous LCK where people were posting like, well, I ordered chicken and I ate all of it and it still didn't start yet. So like, I guess I'll just turn it off. I guess I'm not going to watch the chicken's gone.
Yeah.
This year didn't have too many tech issues.
No.
That's pretty awesome.
Touch wood.
We had the DDoS that was last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had many toilet issues.
Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoonbug,
Yeah, that was last year.
Oh, don't get Wolf started on the toilet issues.
I'm not.
It's not the time.
about that.
It's not the time.
Sorry. I didn't
And so
do that.
now, after Chronicler has already spoken about his own favorite moments here at the LCK, we do need a speech. I'm sorry. We're going to have to do it again.
It just
This
started
is the
raining.
last one or the first one for the Pog State that we've had. And this is for you guys
yeah.
that are just the solo Pog State watchers.
Yes.
We know you exist.
All 6 of them.
Yeah. There's dozens of them.
Whoa. Yeah, well, you know what? For the first time, I'm not feeling emotionally ganked whatsoever. We've had a great POG state.
It was on the sheet, so
it's very
not ganked.
No, not surprised at all. It's been very fun. And I'm going to make the speech POG state related as well.
Please.
Because I think that, I've already done those. If you want to see the LCK speech and see me ball, then you can do that. That's available. I'm pretty sure it's,
He balls hard.
Video on demand, yeah.
Yes, you can find it.
So no sky counters.
But to me, POG state has actually turned into some of my favorite LCK content because I think that even though the LCK broadcast is obviously very, very loose and we get away with a lot, right, as a broadcast, I think the POG state is very reminiscent of how the actual conversations are, even when we're not working, right? I feel like POG state is just, minus some swearing, some place where we consistently can just have a lot more in-depth conversation. But I've also really enjoyed kind of the transformation of some of the different roles and the interpersonal dynamics that with a cast you don't really get to see as much because you're always tied to 2 people or 3, but in case of 3 you're doing a finals, so there just isn't quite as much. So I'm really going to miss that. I think that those POG states after a 6 gamer and all of us are delirious, and Max has been spending the entire day making me mad because that's when he says I do my best work, and all of us kind of want to go home, but then we have like an unprompted 2 hours that was supposed to be an hour episode, and we're like, that was amazing. That was a banger. And you just walk off.
Man, the old days, that was like 2 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah. and this is something that hasn't been a thing for a while. But back before we had the early broadcast, we also used to go and sit downstairs in the cafe because we had early POG state, and then we had like a 2-hour break. And we would sit there and we'd drink coffee, we'd play Slay the Spire. And that was awesome. And I love that.
Yep.
I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, I kind of miss the old
cafe,
POG state.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Which wasn't great, but it was the cafe that was there.
It had a big table.
It did a big and chargers, actually. That was a big deal.
I have one question for you, Chronicler. What is your piece of advice for whoever might be coming into the LCK after you?
Oh, I don't like...
There's just
we don't even know who that is.
It's like Max does love you, even though it might not seem like.
No, I think that's his love.
That's
language.
up in the air.
It's like these two. Their love language is very obvious, right? So I don't feel like they won't really get caught off guard by that. Also, if they've watched LCK, they will know. I think I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Dan's going to go as hard from the beginning.
I don't. Yeah,
you will though.
I think he will.
You should, Dan.
Yeah,
you should go hard.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really given.
Yeah, actually, let's make this about an advice session for Ox as to how he's.
I actually know when Degon joined, I was really light on you, and
that's a tough question. I think
so. You should go hard on them.
LCK to me, the most LCK thing is just fully leaning in. It's just be yourself, but that's so cringe. But that's true though. That's when everyone in the LCK, when you have the clash between the different personalities, obviously sometimes it's true. I don't know, it's fair. Just sometimes, obviously, for entertainment purposes, you play it up a little bit. You're a little more dramatic than you normally would be, except when it comes to DK, that's all real and unacted. Although I don't know if they'll be a DK fan. I guess we'll find out. I hope not, for their sake. But yeah, lean into all these lovable goofballs. And they're all very nice, even though some of them pretend not to be. No, can you do the Spider-Man meme? You too? Yeah, there you go. And I can't wait to see. I'm going to keep watching LCK. So I will judge you. I won't judge you. I'm joking.
You will. He, in fact, already has.
Are you going to stay in our group chat?
He has to.
I mean, I don't know if my cacao will still work.
Yeah, well.
You can transfer your phone number.
No,
because I had this conversation with him.
He's trying to get out. Yeah.
I was like, Mao.
He's really trying to get out.
I said, Mao.
No, I want to stay in the group chat, but isn't it weird if I'm not here?
No, of course it's not weird.
No, I said to Mao, I'm going to kick you from the group chat as soon as you leave the country. And it's like, oh, okay. And I was like, what are you joking? I was like, I figured my phone wouldn't work anyway. I'm like, no, you can switch your phone number.
No, I'll keep cacao on so I can message you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we want to kick him, that's okay.
We'll have a discussion about it afterwards.
Yeah, we can have that. We can have that conversation.
Publicly, obviously, we're great friends. We'd love to keep
Anyway, we definitely will judge you, but like it's okay. Don't be worried about it.
He'll be nice about it too.
Yeah.
He'll come in with some real constructive feedback.
If asked for, otherwise.
Yeah.
Unsolicited? Good
Not
feedback?
unsolicited.
If there's
If they
anyone
ask
being, I'm not the guy that gives unsolicited feedback. There's
No.
plenty of that in the LCK.
I've gotten a few of those. I think we all have gotten a few of those.
Yeah, we've all got enough of that. I think, yeah. But I do want to finish it up by just saying a huge thanks to Chronicler for coming over here and being an amazing friend to all of us. Was always down to do stuff. I think that that's one of his best qualities. Even though he doesn't drink, he still came out all the time, hung out with us. I even what was it? Like a few weeks ago, I was just like, I want to play some board games. And Mao's like, all right, come over. And we just played Spirit Island for 3 hours or something like that.
It was wonderful.
Chilly.
It was really
delicious. Good. So Mao's just been a brilliant addition to the LCK, and we're going to miss him a lot. But that's as far as my speeching is going to go. I'm not going to do much more than that.
Can we cheer?
We can cheer.
Cheer. Cheer.
Yay! Stop cheering because it's for you, Chronicler. Yay!
It feels like we're celebrating that he's leaving, but that's not what we're doing. We're celebrating his time in the LCK. That's what we're doing.
For sure.
Yeah.
I could see Dan celebrate them. Look how happy he looks.
I'm not happy.
He's grumpy.
I don't think it's Sam. This is a bigger issue for me, right? Because not only am I losing a friend and a coworker, he's also my neighbor. I've never lived in Korea without Chronicler as my neighbor, right? And also,
more importantly,
a lot of you guys are getting babied up, so you have less time. I play video games with Mao all the time. Who am I supposed to play video games with? You're not real anymore, Brendan.
Hey, after 8 p.m., sometimes I show up.
After 8 p.m.
Sometimes I'm
play
there. Come on.
one round of Risk of Rain, and he's like, oh, it's my bedtime now. What is that? Like,
At least I show up.
I can just literally... I can hit Mao up anytime, He's literally a floor away from me, not anymore. And that's, so I need I don't know. It's dire times.
Maybe that should have been Mao's advice to the next guy coming in.
Yeah, the next person coming in needs
please take care of Dan.
Oh, man.
You just need to take care of Dan.
If you're looking for a place, there is a spot opening up in our building. I know the landlord. He's a really nice guy. I will put in a good word. Please. Please.
If
Be
you
my
do
best
it,
friend, please. Please.
I'm going to miss you too, Dan.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of my time at the LCK when I see the bananas that are next to the tea.
Oh.
Because Mao always asks me if I want a banana, even though every time he asks me, I told him I don't really like bananas. I don't like bananas. But he offered
Maybe you
every
changed your
day
mind.
just the same because he just wanted to make sure that when he went to get something, that if anyone else needed something, he would get it for them, even though I'm pretty sure he knew I didn't like bananas. He asked me.
You don't like
just
fruit.
for context,
Every
Wolf is
time.
basically allergic to fruit.
Yeah, I can't eat fruit
He
at
just
all.
doesn't eat it even a little bit.
So thanks for always looking out for me, buddy. No matter what.
Trying to poison you with bananas.
You know what? I'm willing to hold that torch. I will start asking you if you want to.
Actually, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I really-
I think I might too. I might join that train. I'm ready.
I don't think you guys get it.
No, we do. I think we get it better than you do. In fact, I think we're ready. We're ready to be the banana offerers from now on. Speaking of being offerers, we're going to go off and eat tacos at my place.
Eat cake?
We can also eat cake as well.
What? We already ate our cake.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was
couldn't
my
wait.
attempted segue to the end of the episode, Digon. Did you like it?
I liked it.
Oh, you sounded like you hated it a little bit. I think that makes it the best. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Make sure that if you are a Pogstate listener that is only a Pogstate listener and not anything else, we need to hear from you. You are so incredibly important.
But pull
to
over
us.
first.
Yeah, pull over first, but
Not on the highway.
Not on the highway. Not on the highway. And definitely don't check your trunk for sports equipment or whatever else might be in there.
Sports equipment.
Like what Digon did when he was on the highway and then got pulled over by the cops, and it was scary. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. This might be the last episode of the year. It might not. We're going to keep things up in the
Who
air.
knows?
It might surprise you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.